the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
And now at 11, a huge effort is underway to ship millions of doses of a COVID-19 vaccine across the country. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Mark Mullins. The FDA announced tonight it has officially authorized Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use following a committee's approval. Meanwhile, Hoosier healthcare workers are asking you to take a pledge to stop the spread of the virus. And local restaurants are looking for ways to keep customers safe and warm as we head into the holidays. More on all of that in just a moment. But first tonight, we're checking in with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, tracking rain to bring us into the weekend. Kevin.
And it's settling into central Indiana, and it is December rain. No winter weather for us out of this system. Here's the first little wave that's passed through downtown Indianapolis, now lifting north. Lafayette, Kokomo to Noblesville and Anderson. That's kind of the close-up view. More will develop southwest by Terre Haute, Sullivan. That'll continue to move to the north and east. There's your overnight probability of rain through 9 a.m. tomorrow. But look, mid to late morning, the probabilities start to taper off from west to east across central Indiana. It is still unbelievably mild. 54 in Indianapolis, 56 in Shelbyville. Overnight tonight, the rain stays with us. There we are first thing in the morning. May hear a rumble of thunder. See a little break in the rain in the morning. Then we'll talk about what happens in the afternoon, and all eyes focus on the thermometer after that.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. Many Hoosiers are trying to walk the fine line between supporting local business and staying safe from COVID-19. A Broad Ripple restaurant believes it has one solution as the weather gets colder. WRTV's Cameron Riddle shows us how it works.
In the year 2020, sitting in your very own personal greenhouse is the coolest way, or, well, the warmest way to dine out.
They allow seating for 2 to 4 people, or one to 4 people in there. We say 3 comfortable, 4 cozy.
These greenhouses on the patio of Public Greens in Broad Ripple is a product of creativity in a pandemic.
We have these vents too. If people want a little bit extra air circulation, we can open these up.
It's a concept Katie Pittman and her team came up with as a solution to recommendations from government and health officials that restaurant customers eat outside even through winter, an idea that at first was laughable.
Very difficult. Yeah, exactly. Kind of laughed a little bit. And then you kind of just have to throw that idea out that you're not going to eat outside in Indiana in the winter.
Like other businesses, Public Greens was inspired to innovate by everything 2020 has thrown their way. Now the outdoor dining experience comes with heaters, blankets, and on warmer days, a vent for fresh air, all creating a cozy setting for people from the same household while keeping them separate from other customers. Pittman says the concept has already received a warm welcome from families with children.
We actually just had a woman that said, she's like, I just had a newborn child. We're celebrating our anniversary, and we didn't know if we would be able to go out to eat and celebrate.
In a time when creativity is key to a fun and safe environment, Pittman is hoping the creativity at Public Greens is enough to encourage customers to dine out this winter.
Now, if you still want to dine at home, we're happy to accommodate and make you feel safe in whatever dining experience you want, whether that's, dining in the dining room that's socially distant, sitting by our fire, the greenhouses, or carry out.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
Public Greens is in Broad Ripple. If you are interested in dining in the greenhouse, they suggest making a reservation. And remember, the seating arrangements are intended for groups that are already spending time together, since the enclosed space could spread COVID-19 easier than being out in the open. More local governments are stepping up their coronavirus restrictions, including New York City, where an indoor dining ban begins Monday. Pennsylvania is banning indoor dining as well, and Virginia is putting an overnight curfew in place. This week in the U.S., there were more deaths, cases, and people hospitalized with COVID-19 than at any other point since the pandemic began. Indiana's numbers remain high, but the rates of positive tests and deaths are decreasing. That's according to the Regent Street Institute, which analyzes health department data. ICU admissions, however, are increasing, and as of today, 43% of Indiana's ICU beds are being used by COVID patients. Only 21% are available across the state. The pandemic strain on hospitals and healthcare workers is not showing any signs of easing, and that's why medical professionals from across the state are sending a serious message to their fellow Hoosiers. In an open letter, they're asking all of us to sign a pledge to do our part to help slow the spread of COVID-19. An emergency room doctor down in Jasper, Indiana, tells us the 4 main things they're asking us to do. Most are measures that experts have been recommending for months.
It's avoiding crowds when possible. If you're in the house or in a building with people who are not in your bubble, wear a mask, stay back. Tell your Congress people to act now. All over the country and in Indiana, small businesses and your neighbors are suffering. No matter what side of the political aisle you're on, they're suffering. So we need relief for them, and we need it now. We need it detached from politics and pressure. We just need to get it to them. And lastly, more prudent right now as we're coming into the rollout of our vaccine is when you can get it, get the vaccine.
Doctors are encouraging you to sign the Hoosier COVID Crisis Petition and read their message. We posted the full letter on our website and app for you to read, and a link to sign and leave a comment about the struggles you've faced during the pandemic. Indiana health officials have called it the beginning of the end of the pandemic. Vaccinations are set to begin early next week now that the FDA has signed off on Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest tonight.
It is the announcement the country has been waiting for, the FDA granting emergency use authorization for the first COVID-19 vaccine for Americans 16 and older.
This is one of the greatest scientific accomplishments in history. It will save millions of lives.
Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar calling it nothing short of a miracle to have FDA authorization for a vaccine for COVID-19 just 11 months since the virus was made known to the world. The FDA saying in a statement, efforts to speed vaccine development have not sacrificed scientific standards, adding it's unclear how long immunity will last after a person receives both doses of the vaccine. Pfizer now expected to start shipping the first 2.9 million doses to more than 600 locations across the country as early as Saturday morning.
We could be seeing people getting vaccinated Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Among the first to get immunized will be nursing home residents and healthcare workers who are being relentlessly pushed to their limits, with a record number of Americans hospitalized with COVID-19 right now, 108,000.
There is a level of burnout because not only is this physically demanding, it's emotionally demanding.
And already at least 200 hospitals in this country are at full capacity this week. This one near Los Angeles setting up beds in its parking garage to handle the influx of patients.
12 days ago, everything was under control. We went from a very manageable census to, getting overwhelmed.
More than 2,700 Americans have died from COVID-19 in just the past 24 hours. And the CDC is now projecting the U.S. death toll could reach 362,000 by January 2nd. That's nearly 70,000 Americans dead in just 3 weeks.
We are in the time frame now that probably for the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to have more deaths per day than we had in 9/11 or we had in Pearl Harbor.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Rebound Indiana is our commitment to holding the powerful accountable and making sure your tax dollars are being spent in the best way. Some are concerned Indiana has not spent hundreds of millions of dollars that came from the Federal CARES Act passed in March. St. Adrian Meats and Sausage is one of 41 meat processors around the state that received a chunk of Indiana's $2.4 billion in CARES Act money. The owners say it's been beneficial to keep their small business thriving even during a pandemic. But Indiana still has about $700 million in unspent funds. Representative Greg Porter is concerned because the state needs to at least designate where the rest of the money goes by the end of the year.
Hoosiers should not be left behind because this administration has not moved briskly enough to spend those dollars and help local government also document to spend those dollars.
Records show Indiana has spent a good chunk of the CARES Act money to cover public health expenses and payroll for public health and safety employees. We asked the director of the state's Office of Management and Budget, Chris Johnson, to speak with us on camera about the spending of CARES Act dollars, but he declined. Via email, he told us that some of the money must be obligated by December 30th. Other funds have expiration dates that extend beyond 2021. Still ahead on WRTV, a major blow to the efforts of the president and others to change the outcome of the election. The Supreme Court is weighing in.
This coat is good, and I feel warm in it, and it's soft.
From coats to scarves to lights and wreaths, plus a look at how our neighbors are spreading warmth and cheer this holiday season.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
During a tough holiday season for many, we're showing you how central Indiana communities are taking care of each other. Hundreds of students will have a warm winter thanks to a giveaway of coats, hats, and scarves. Lou Wallace School on the city's west side worked with Kingsway Christian Church to collect donations. Lou Wallace School serves students from 27 countries speaking 31 different languages, many of whom are refugees. Some families have never experienced winter weather.
The kids need it. The coats are brand new. They're very soft and plush and warm, and the kids are excited and the parents are excited because it's something they don't have to buy right now when finances are extra thin. And then additionally, Kingsway got all of our staff members handwritten notes and $50 gift cards to Amazon. So our staff has been thanked, our students have gotten special gifts, and it's just a great feeling.
All 550 Lou Wallace students received a coat, and students also had a chance to see their teachers in person after switching to virtual learning. Great to see. This morning, a landscaping company gave their time and hard work to decorate Riverwalk Village Nursing Home in Noblesville. We told you on Thursday a woman put out a call on Facebook for Christmas decorations in honor of her mother, who spent time at the nursing home before she died. She wants to make sure residents and the staff caring for them can look out their windows and see something beautiful and cheerful. Today, LA Landscaping installed all of the donated holiday lights.
I'm hoping it'll definitely bring them some joy. I mean, this Christmas is going to be different for everybody, especially the people living here. It's not going to be the same, so at least they'll have something to look out. Hopefully we'll get some snow, and it'll really make it sparkle out here.
Decorations will also be distributed to residents' rooms, and students of North Elementary and Noblesville High School have sent cards and artwork. That's my co-anchor, Amanda. She's got the night off for her annual date with Nitro. She was out on the ice during the Indy Fuel home opener tonight as part of the Teddy Bear Toss benefiting the WRTV Toy Drive. Stuffed animals were not launched onto the ice this year, but the donation bins in the lobby were filled with gifts, as you see there. By the way, the Fuel won tonight in a shootout 4-3. Amanda did an amazing job, Kevin. All as part of the WRTV toy giveaway, so we always appreciate this effort and her talents on the ice.
Yes, she was what? Competitive figure skater as a youngster. She's still young, and she's still competitive, and she's still a great skater.
And it shows.
Let me show you this picture, too. Yeah, Mark, this was before the performance. If she was nervous at all, then Nitro helps break the ice. And I guess I shouldn't say break the ice, because that's not a good thing to do if you're going to go skating. All right, we're breaking the ice, so to speak, with colder temperatures by the time we get to the weekend, but the rain is the transition to the cooler temperatures. Winds are out of the south. It's still 54 degrees. There's the rain. Notice how it's more solid in western Indiana. That will continue to feed to the north and east. If you haven't had rain yet, be patient. You'll see it. 6 a.m. through about 10 a.m. tomorrow, the most likely time for rain. Then you see it dramatically falls off, the probability of rain does, and could have a few breaks in the cloud cover, but they won't last. It's what I call self-destruct sunshine. It'll help build more clouds and even some afternoon showers. There we go. As we play this through the morning, maybe a rumble of thunder there around 8 a.m. Then there's that little bit of a break showing up on the forecast model as the first wave of rain exits. But as we go into the afternoon, the actual cold front, stronger cold front will come through. That'll generate additional drizzle or light showers. I think it'll be a little more spotty and not as heavy. From Indianapolis northwest, half an inch of rain, maybe a little more. From Indy southeast, should be less than half an inch of rain. One more mild day. Hopefully you got some mileage out of today. We had video of folks out on the Monon just enjoying a walk, jog, ride the bike. People out on golf courses. You do everything that you can when you sneak in a day in the 60s like we did today. 56 tomorrow. It's wet for the first half of the day, then drying out with just lighter showers in the afternoon. 40, the optimistic high to round out the weekend. There is the temperature drop as we get to the mid-afternoon, starting to fall into the 40s. Eventually, we'll be just above freezing by Sunday morning. Notice the wind, strong, gusting to 30 miles per hour out of the south, eventually coming out of the west and then northwest during the day Sunday. There's your cloud cover Sunday. It's kind of persistent through the day. We'll call it mostly cloudy. That'll keep temperatures down a bit, as well as the colder northwest wind. Monday, we're at 36. Tuesday, still in the 30s. Wednesday, a chance for some snow showers or light snow. It's pretty obvious what the theme of the forecast is after tomorrow. Generally dry and much colder, with the exception being Wednesday, that 20% chance that we'll see some snow showers or light snow, down to 23 on Thursday. Everybody have a good weekend. Mark?
You too, Kevin. Thank you. The Supreme Court has shut down a legal challenge from the state of Texas that would have thrown away millions of votes in other states. It sought to get the Supreme Court to invalidate the election results in key battleground states where President Trump lost. The lawsuit was filed by the Texas Attorney General, but supported by AGs in 17 other states, including Indiana. Other legal cases to change the results of the election are currently in courts at the state level, but none of those include evidence of voter fraud. It's an election year procedure that you might not have noticed in previous years, but on Monday, the Electoral College is formally voting for the next president. Their ballots will be cast and then certified by Congress. Newsy's Stephanie Liebergen is breaking down this process for you.
Weeks after Election Day, attention turns to the Electoral College and its members who are responsible for formally electing the next president.
When we go to vote for president in November, we are not actually voting for president. You are casting your ballot for the electors of that person.
It used to be a little clearer on our ballots where it said you're voting for the electors. Our ballots don't even say that anymore.
The Founding Fathers debated how the country's president should be picked, either by Congress or by a national popular vote. The Electoral College was created as a compromise between the two.
It was supposed to be a time where the electors got together and really made sure and debated and discussed the winner of that election.
The Electoral College physically casting their ballots is more of a formality today, but the Constitution still determines how that process plays out. The number of votes each state gets is based on the number of representatives they have in Congress. Washington, D.C. also gets 3 electoral votes. So with 538 votes available, that makes 270 the magic number. Federal law does not dictate how states award their electoral votes. 48 states in Washington, D.C. have a winner-take-all system. Nebraska and Maine are the 2 exceptions, though it's rare for either to split its vote total. The state electors meet on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December to cast their votes. This year, that's December 14th.
In most states, there are 2 sets of electors, one for the Democratic candidate, one for the Republican candidate. And which slate of electors has to show up at the state capitol is determined by the announcement of who won the popular vote in that state.
So the electors are generally picked by the campaigns or the state parties. They are traditionally loyalists to the parties. They are longtime members of the party.
Because electors are usually loyal to the political party they're representing, it's rare for one of them to vote for someone other than the designated party nominee.
A faithless elector is that stray soul who decides that even though they were chosen to vote their vote for this candidate or that candidate, they're going to choose someone else, maybe the other person or maybe some hero or whatever. They're making a political statement.
We've seen faithless electors in a handful of previous Electoral College votes, but those votes have never impacted the final outcome of the presidential race. Once the electoral ballots are cast, those votes are sent to Washington, D.C. The final step will happen when Congress formally counts and accepts those ballots on January 6, 2021. Stephanie Liebergen, Newsy, Miami.
Well, the Pacers face their first preseason test this weekend. Meanwhile, the Butler basketball teams are on hold for a bit longer. And Ball State's playing a very important football game up in Muncie. WRTV Sports' Brad Brown has a look ahead at all of those.
A new head coach and a few new faces have brought a new energy to the Pacers as this new season gets set to begin.
Training camps are hard, whether it be this one here in Indiana or any of them. I'm sure they're tough to go through, and players around the league are fighting through everything and getting themselves in shape and ready to play these preseason games coming up.
Coach Nate Bjorkgren is already putting his touches on revamping the Pacers' approach at both ends of the court. So far, he's getting some very positive reviews from his players.
Incredibly creative, incredibly interactive with the players. Definitely a player's coach. You know, I'm excited about that. We're in need of some creativity, and I think that's what he's going to bring to the table.
And the learning curve is much shorter. A shorter offseason, shorter preseason, and the unknowns of how it will all come together with the pandemic looming all around.
Doing what we've been doing in training camp has been done very well. So we just got to continue to build on it, even when, like I said, fatigue sets in and we get tired. Still got to be crisp. We still got to be locked in. So we've been doing a great job of that.
The Pacers will play 2 preseason games in Cleveland tomorrow and Monday, and one more at home next Friday. The regular season opener is set for December 23rd at home against the Knicks. Butler is making some more changes to its basketball schedule. The men's team has added a home game against DePaul on December 21st. BU has not played since their opener, pausing all activities due to COVID-19 positives. The Butler women's team announced Thursday that they are taking a COVID-19 pause as well. They'll miss 3 games as a result, including tomorrow's against IU. Ball State's football team lost its first game this season, but the Cardinals have rattled off 4 straight wins since, and tomorrow they'll play for a spot in the MAC championship game. BSU is hosting Western Michigan.
There's going to be a lot of talk this week about what's at stake, but our guys are just focused on the next game. We got to take care of business, and nobody, the good thing is it's a mature group of guys, with 22 seniors and guys that have played a lot of football and have been around.
Ball State put up a season-high 45 points last weekend in a win over Central Michigan. Drew Plitt threw for 366 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I think just with winning, everybody's in a better mood when you win. And the opportunity that we have is huge. We know that, but we're not going to change what we do. If anything, we're just going to do a little bit more and really just take it one day at a time, keep moving forward.
Tomorrow's winner will play for the MAC title next weekend in Detroit. Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Well, you have a chance to donate the gift of life tomorrow at the 21st annual Bleed Blue Blood Drive at Lucas Oil Stadium. Versity Blood Center teams up with the Colts for this event to get critically needed blood donations around the holidays. Versity says they always see a decline in donations during this time of year. They're also asking for plasma donations from people who have recovered from COVID-19. Masks and social distancing are required at tomorrow's event that runs from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome, but you can make an appointment at versity.org/Indiana. Kevin.
We've got an appointment with colder temperatures. Sunday is the day that you really feel the change. Tomorrow we're still mild. Wet in the morning tomorrow, but again, watch the probabilities drop quickly by mid-morning, and during the afternoon hours, 20% or so that we would see additional rainfall. Mark, I think you should start training now. You skate with Amanda next year, and then we'll have Nitro anchor the late news.
I like that. A little switcheroo there with me on the ice. That's only asking for trouble. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a safe weekend, everybody.